Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Happy Wednesday night. This is Bose 831 Gaming going live. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Hello, hello, hello. I hope everyone is doing well today. And welcome to my stream. I'm on Farming Simulator 22 on the ELM Creek map. And this is Bose 831 Gaming doing a live stream on Wednesday night. Alright. And just kind of getting up speed to, I think, where we were when we left off on my last stream. We were working on our, we had just harvested our grass and finished baling our grass from my two grass fields, and we had wrapped and had our silage bales created. And where we left off, I indicated that I was going to go ahead and handle the pickup of my silage bales off camera. What I also did off camera was I went ahead and used my grassland roller and went ahead and ran my grassland roller over both of these grass fields as well. What that does is it creates another fertilizer state. So as you can see, both of these fields are already now 100% fertilized. If you run the grass roller over your grassland fields right after you harvest them, you can get that additional harvesting state. And that's one of the advantages of using a grass roller versus a standard roller. If you do it right after you harvest on grass fields, you can actually skip a fertilization state and actually save some money if you want to. So I just went ahead and did that. And you can hop over here to our animal pens. I've already off camera went ahead and picked up all of my previously wrapped grass bales in order to make silage, and we've already put them in our silage barns, and we're just waiting for the silage to ferment. And depending on my needs, what's going on with my animals, with my cows in particular, I'll probably save a few of these silage, but I don't need this many silage bales right now, so most of these I'll probably sell, but I'll keep some so I can have for making my TMR mix. And I'm gonna kind of hold on to them to see what the prices are in the market before I sell them, so I can get the best prices I can on my silage bales when I go ahead and try to sell them. But the ones that I just wrapped and stored are over in this shed for the most part. Yeah, that's fermenting 7%. Okay, that's the one. Because when I was placing the bales over here, some of my older bales got mixed up with some of my newer bales, because I was using the auto load trailer. But you can see there's still some bales here that are just starting to ferment, so we have to wait till those are fully fermented before we can sell those bales. I think the ones on this side are all fully fermented. Yes, all these are done. So all of my fresh bales over on that side. I don't think I put any over here. Let's see. Oh yeah, I did put some one group over here too then. Yes. So the bales that I use for my TMR mix are here with the TMR mixer. Okay. And the other thing that I did off camera was I indicated over at my sheep pen, we had a bunch of bales of wool. And let's hop over there real quick to my sheep pen. Barn pen, and I sold all of the full bales of wool that I had both here and that I had in my shed, and that's why if you notice, the balance on my account is up to around 89,000 now. Still not a lot, but we did get a little bit of cash off of that. Let's see, it may be still showing. Yeah, I sold the wool and got roughly about 47 grand off of my sale of wool. And the sold products is from my greenhouses, but yes. And so right now we're sitting on a balance of about 89 grand, and I'm gonna go ahead and use some of that to pay off my existing loan balance. But we still got a lot of work to do here to kind of take a stab at that loan balance. Okay. And one of the other things I wanted to touch on today before we really get into the stream was, week to week there's mods that come out every day, and depending on what mods come out to the week, sometimes there are, mods that I want to kind of make mention of. And there was a mod that dropped today that may be a bit of a game changer for us console players. There was a mod that came out today that basically changes the weight of your production pallets and changes the weight to 100 kilograms, and that makes your production pallets light enough for you to be able to pick them up and carry them. The one caveat is this mod will only affect newly created production pallets. So the existing pallets that I have here, like these cake pallets, it won't affect those. These are still going to be the current weight they are, which in this case is 370 kilograms. But for any newly generated pallets, production pallets, I should be able to lift them. Because right now I can't lift these egg pallets because, as you can see, it's 340 kilograms. But whenever a new pallet pops up here, when that mod goes into effect, I should be able to pick up any new production pallets from this or any of my other production chains. But we'll have to see how that kind of works out. But if this mod works as advertised, that's going to be a game changer for us console players, and at least give us console players, a little bit of the ability that PC players kind of have with that strongman mod or heavy lifting mod that PC players have. Excuse me. Say my throat's decided to do a little dance on me at the last minute today, so pardon me with my voice a little bit, and as I try to kind of keep it cleared up here, but this just started up at the last minute for whatever reason, but you know how that goes sometimes. Alright, so let's get up to speed. Let's see. Right now I think I'm done with everything that I need to do for today. I want to go look and see. Oh yeah, I still got can turn in all my leased equipment that I had for doing my grass work. I don't need the windrower anymore. Don't need a low loader at the moment. I may have to lease it again tomorrow, but we'll see how that goes. But don't need to be assessed any leasing fees right at the moment. So let's go ahead and wait. Before I do that, though, I want to go ahead and take a little stab off of, it probably won't make that much of a difference, but we'll go ahead and knock about, let's do 30 or 40 grand off this loan balance just to kind of kill some of my interest charges. We'll do one. So we'll just go ahead and knock that down. Alright, that's 59. Let's go ahead and knock that all the way down to, and keep up about 20 grand. Knock that down to 460. And now we'll go sleep. All right, next day. So now we're in the month of April. And since we're in the month of April, let's take a quick look at our crop prices and product prices to see what product is best to sell in April. And if we go over to the seasonal fluctuations and go down the chart, let's see. Okay, yeah, April. Yeah, and just looking at what products peak in the month of April, and wool is on that list, and we already sold our wool for this month. And let's keep going. April. All right. Even though it's not in the green, honey has, no, that's not, let's say the best month to sell honey looks like it's now February, although March and April, no, because, yeah, no, January is a good month, and March is a good month. April's not that good. Cereal, March, February. And I still struggle with trying to interpret this chart, even though they made some updates to it in the 1.3 patch. And for the most part, you're looking at the areas with the green bars, and then where you have the white bar that goes across the green bar, that's kind of the peak price point, so to speak. And you can just kind of, in general, make your assessment based on where the white bar is at. So, for example, in March, you see where it's a green month, but if you go over to September, there's another green month, but you see where the white bar crosses the green bar. That's the best month for sales of raisins. The other good months for sales of raisins look to be based on where the white bar crosses the green bar is August, and then possibly either October or March, and to a lesser degree even April for raisins. But you kind of get the idea there. And I don't have any raisins, so nothing for me to move there. Let's see. Tomatoes is in April, and I got my greenhouses are set to auto sale, although the best months for tomatoes are January, December, and February. Alright, and I do have production chains for chocolate. Chocolate's going to be better to sell next month in May. Don't have any wood production chains currently. And that's manures in January, slurry January as well. Don't have any digestate, but that's also probably best to sell in January and February. Alright, and that's about it. So no products to sell right at the moment. Okay, so let's see what's going on with my fields. Okay, my canola field is still growing. It's already fully fertilized. Yield bonus is maxed out. So still just watching that grow. And it'll be ready to harvest around July. Alright. And if we hop over to my grass fields, like I indicated earlier, I've already ran over the grass fields right after I harvested with the grassland roller. and not the standard roller, but the grass roller. And so both of these fields are already yield bonus is 98, and they're already 100% fertilized. So just waiting on the grass to start regrowing, and probably on the next, when we roll over to the next month, the grass should already sprout and we already start back growing. So right now I'm playing on what is it, 3-day months, and I'm still going to keep these fields on grass right now because my objective here is to kind of grow grass and sell silage, and that's where a lot of my income is going to come from, aside from my animal production. All right, so we're good there, and let's hop over to, well actually should have hopped in my pickup truck, but so we'll hoof it out on foot. Let's kind of go over here to our other two fields and just kind of take a look at them real quick and see what we have going on with my sugar cane and my oat fields. Okay, the oat's growing, the sugar cane is growing, and if we go back over to the crops, you can also see that over here, fields 41 and 42, they're both growing. Alright, are we in need of any other field care right now? No, they're both, well, I do need to drop some fertilizer on the oat field, and my sugarcane field is already 100% fertilized, so let's go ahead and take a shot at that right now. So we'll go grab my fertilizer spreader, and then recall if I had any fertilizer left in the silo, but let's roll over here real quick and check it out and see what we have. But we still have some in here. And fill this fertilizer spreader up with solid fertilizer. Actually just thinking out loud here now. I also have some options with where I can go as far as fertilization goes, because I could also use some organic fertilizer in the form of my manure and slurry. So taking a look at my cows and my pigs, don't have a lot of slurry right now from the cows or the pigs, because that would run out pretty quick if I put that in a slurry spreader. Even that's got 29,000 and another 10,000 from the pigs, so don't know if that would be quite worth the cost right now. But hey, solid fertilizer is pretty expensive though. So hold that thought. Actually, I think I will. Alright, so let me go take a look at the slurry spreaders and see how we want to do this. Alright, slurry tank. So that one's 22. That's just a transport. That's a width of 15 meters. All right. And this holds roughly about 8.2 meters squared. All right. So we'll lease that real quick. $1,147. We'll give it a go. All right. So we leased the Slurry Spreader. And we're going to bring that back to the farm. And before we try to, in order to save money, what we're going to do is spread slurry first. And depending on how that works out, we may or may not even have to use any of our solid fertilizer, which is a lot more expensive than using the organic fertilizer in the form of slurry. And I also probably could have also, if I still want to go the full-on organic route, also use manure. But I don't have a ton of manure now. And I'm still kind of unsure because of where my pig pen sits in relation to my manure bunker, if that manure bunker that I have placed by the cow barn is even picking up the manure that's being created by my pigs. There was another mod that came out this week with some additional bunker extensions, and I may go ahead and place one of those bunker extensions from that mod over closer to the pig barn, but we'll look at that in just a second. Yeah, I think I touched on the last stream, but there was some other news that came out over the last couple of weeks as far as Farming Simulator is concerned, and that was some back sheets for the tractors that are part of the Antonio Carraro, and I know I'm butchering the name, DLC pack that's coming later this month, and then and also it was announced by Giants Software that the Precision Farming free DLC would be coming next month, and some additional details were provided about that DLC, and that would be a free DLC. While the Antonio Serraro pack is a paid DLC. And I'll go over that in just a second. Kind of some of those details that are on the Farming Simulator website. All right, but anywho, let's go grab some slurry from our cows and our pigs. We'll start off with grabbing some from our pigs. Let's get 200 liters of slurry. And then we'll hop on over to our field. Let's see how far this can get us. Alrighty. Let's get that bad boy kind of lined up a little bit here. And one of the things you can do as well with your slurry spreader is you can have a single or double application rate. If you activate the double application rate, your slurry goes faster, but you also increase the level of the fertilization state, so you don't have to make as many passes. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that setting on as well, and let's see what that gives us. All right, so I'm going to turn this bad boy on. All right. And here we go. turning on the double application rate also makes the spreader and the tractor go faster because you're doing double, so it's a little slower process. And this is probably only going to get us through one strip of the field at this rate. But we'll just do this one pass and then take a look and see how we're doing. Alright, let's take a look real quick and see what kind of results that's given us. Alrighty, and as you can see, that gives us the second fertilization state. If you look over at the soil composition filter, the lighter blue state on the fertilized section of that filter is the first fertilization stage, and the darker blue field over in that filter, that's the second tier of fertilization state. And by doing the double application rate, we're skipping the first tier altogether and just going straight to the darker blue second tier. So that's working as advertised. I just don't know if we're gonna have enough slurry on hand to do the entire field that way. So this could be interesting. But we're gonna go back over here to our pigs and grab some more slurry and see how it all goes. Alright, so we're back over at the pigs, and let's fill up one more time, and that's all we got, another 2,000 liters. So now we'll go over to our cows and grab some of their slurry. Start filling. All right, and we're good to go. So we'll go back over to our field and line the spreader up, slurry spreader up again, and see what kind of progress we make on the second pass. And one of the things that can be kind of hard to see visually on the field, you can see it a little bit, but it's really very difficult to kind of see the area that you previously worked. You can kind of see the little darker brown over to your left, but it's not prominent, very prominent, but it is indicated there. So we kind of want to make sure we're not too far over. And I think this time I'm going to turn on the worker as well and just kind of see it turn, have them do it, and let's see how it goes. And okay, looks like I'm might have come over a little bit too far. Yeah. But it's not a huge deal because at the rate we're going, I'm not going to have enough slurry to do this entire field anyways. And I'm going to have to come back and touch it up with solid fertilizers. Just by doing this, I won't have to use as much solid fertilizer to get the field to the next fertilization state. So we'll get as much down as we can. Yeah. Although having that big gap there does kind of is not exactly what I wanted. Alright. And the tank is empty, so we're going to go back and grab some more slurry and try it one more time. And we may not be able to get all of the field, but we'll get a significant portion of it. And I'll be happy with that. And then once we run out of slurry, I'll just grab the solid fertilizer spreader and we'll go back and touch up the rest of the field. So I save money either way because I won't have to use as much solid fertilizer to get the field between fertilization states. So this crop won't be wholly organic, but it will be at least partly organic. But if we were doing like a realism play, realism play, and we were going straight organic, then we would have to use only manure and or slurry to fertilize the field. And if we were doing that type of play, then once I ran out of slurry, I would have to buy some more from the shop. But that's not the kind of the gameplay that I'm going for right now, so we'll just kind of mix it up. And again, because I'm doing the double application rate, the speed at which the spreader moves is much slower than if we were doing a single application rate. Because as you can see, we're only getting doing a double application rate, we're only getting the speed of about 5 miles an hour. And I lined it up a little better this time so we won't have that gap like I did on my first pass. And once again, we're going to run out as we get towards the top of the field. So it looks like overall I only have enough slurry to do about half of this field. And again, you know, if I had more cows and more pigs, and I had enough, I'd have a lot more slurry produced, and I'd probably have enough slurry to go ahead and do this whole field without running out of slurry before I get the whole field done. But don't have enough right now, but we'll put as much slurry down as we can. Okay. And I'm driving like a blind man right now. Trying to drive over the fence. Alrighty, and we're headed back over to the field to do another pass. And again, as I was pointing out earlier, you can kind of see where the darker brown portion of the field is. So you can kind of see where you've already put down some slurry, but it's just not easy to see. Alright, so we fire our worker up and send him on his way for another pass. Let's see. Did we do a good job of lining him up this time? Okay, yep. And we'll probably end up getting a little over half the field done this way. Which is not bad, but in the future, once we have more cows in the cow barn, and as we go through our cycles through the different months throughout the year, when it comes around again and I need to put some slurry down on the field for fertilization, I have more cows, and more cows, and hence will create more slurry, so we'll have more slurry to work with when the time comes up that I may want to put some fertilizer down in one of my fields again. Alright, once again the tank is out. So we're headed back to the cows. And because we're on a new day, I still got to go through my daily cycle of feeding the animals and checking their feed and their water levels and all of my basic animal care before we move into the next day. Alright, and that's all of the slurry that I have available, another 7,100 liters. Oh, and I keep trying to run over that fence for whatever reason. So once we make this last pass here, that's going to be it. So get you lined up, fire up my worker, and away he goes. And since we didn't fill the slurry tanker all the way up, we're not going to get all the way to the to the far end of the field before we run out of slurry. But we should still knock a fairly decent chunk of the field out. And again, just kind of thinking out loud, for the sake of consistency, what I may do is just buy some slurry and just go ahead and finish this whole field off with slurry, especially since I did do a majority of this field with slurry and with the double application rate activated. But just trying to think of what would be the best way for me to do this. Without having to drive back and forth to the shop 500,000 times. Alrighty. And again, I'm just kind of thinking out loud right at the moment here, and I have an idea, but I don't know. Let me, because I have 82 Studios buy anything silo installed, but I don't know if slurry is one of the products that is sold at this buying station. I don't even know if this one, off the top of my head, if this one even dispenses liquid product. Alrighty. I'm gonna go out on a whim and take a risk and see if it does. So let's go ahead and alright. Gestate slurry. So we'll fill it up with slurry. Cost me $202. Not bad, not bad. Okay. Alright, so yeah, we'll go ahead and just save that money on this and that solid fertilizer for another purpose. And just go ahead and finish this whole field up with the slurry spreader situation. Alright, and there was a couple of spots here I missed up here, so I'm gonna go ahead and touch that up, and then that other little strip that I kind of missed. Alright, see what that looks like. Alright, I guess those little spots are just gonna look like that anyway. So what I do here as well is we'll just go ahead and run a headland across the top. And again, that 5 miles per hour application rate is really blazing. But we'll just go ahead and do this whole thing with slurry. And I know it's a little bit cheaty to kind of do it this way with the buy anything silo, but I'm just saving multiple trips to the shop. Or in this case, the biogas plant, because I could also buy it from there. And this is just in the interest of time, for the most part. but it's essentially like buying it from the shop in a way, because I'm just moving the shop closer to me. And you know, sometimes it just is what it is. I know some of you ultra realism players may be having a fit, but at the end of the day, sometimes we have to realize that it is just a game, and if you're not having fun playing the game, then what are you doing? So, and when I do play, there are certain rules and, you know, guidelines that I like to try to stick to. But at the same time, the purpose of why I sit down to play is also to have fun. So, you know, and both things are not mutually exclusive. You can play with realism and have fun, and sometimes you can play without as much realism and still have fun. And that's kind of where I am on that topic. Alrighty. So we're just gonna make a pass through here, through that area where I left that gap, and try to close that gap in. And next time I do a slurry spread, I need to do a better job of lining up my vehicle before I make a pass, so we don't leave any major gaps. And hopefully we got enough in the tank to get us all the way to the top, taking that headland that I drew earlier into consideration. And looks like it's going to be close, but I think we ought to get it. Come on, buddy, come on. There we go. So let's take a look. Perfect. There you go. Pick up another tank of slurry. And normally we obey the lanes in the road, but I'm sure that shop owner won't get too mad about me cutting across his grass. But if he does, he knows where I live. Alright, so let's line that up, hire the worker, and do another pass. Oh, I forgot about that other spot at the top where I ran out when I didn't have a full tanker, so we had to take that gap into consideration as well when we get up closer to the top. Alrighty, and again we're at that blazing speed of 5 miles an hour. And I guess while we're watching the worker kind of go make another pass with the slurry tanker, we can kind of talk about the Antonio Carraro pack. again, that pack contains a lot of small tractors and equipment. It's probably still more product that would appeal to European players of Farming Simulator, although some of us American players may also find a few items of interest there. I'm kind of, in the middle on it. I'm happy to have some new equipment in the game. Okay. Yeah, we need to go fill up again. I can never, quote, shake my fist at having new equipment in the game, even if it's not, any brand that I'm super familiar with. So I will definitely kind of check some of the equipment in this DLC pack out. When I purchased Farming Simulator 22, I purchased the full version of the game, and I also purchased the year one pass for the game. So I've already paid for the game plus the first year of DLC, because there's supposed to be 4 DLC packs that release as part of the season pass with Farming Simulator 22, including one pack that includes a new map as well as new equipment. But I think that's the paid DLC pack number 4, if I'm not mistaken. All right, but just some of the equipment that's going to be in the Antonio Carraro pack. You have a Mach 2R tractor, a Tigre car 3200 GST, which is kind of like a little tractor / cart, a Tony 10900 SR small tractor, and a few other vehicles. But those were the ones that were outlined in the fact sheets that were released last week. And you can go over to the farmingsimulator.com website and view the fact sheets and additional information about those pieces of equipment that are going to be in the Antonio Carraro DLC pack coming out on the 22nd of this month. And I think that's going to be a recurring theme with all the packs and DLCs with Farming Simulator 22, is they're going to kind of release stuff, it looks like, on that kind of pattern where it's going to be on the 22nd of whatever month they do release expansions or what have you. Alrighty, let me get that spot real quick. Okay. And again, because it's kind of hard to see, there's a little spot that we're missing. I totally can't really see where that spot's at. So I'm kind of guessing here. Alright, seem to have gotten it that time. Alright, so we're ready to make another pass. Back up. Alright, hire my worker. Alrighty. Okay. Yeah, okay. And while the worker's doing this thing again, and like I said about the year one season pass, if you purchase that, there's supposed to be 4 packs as part of that season pass. The first pack is the Antonio Carraro pack, which comes out on the 22nd of March. Then there's supposed to be another pack in spring of 22. No other details have been provided about that pack yet. Then we have a third pack coming out in the summer of 22. And the last pack which also is an expansion pack. We'll have a map and some new machines, and that comes out in the fall of 2022. And those are all the items that are part of the year one season pass, if you also purchase that package as well. Alrighty, so it's kind of slow progress, nothing super exciting here as we put down slurry on this field. And then again, once we get this job done, we'll top off the feed for our animals, and then what I also do before we're done for the day is just kind of take a peek and see if there's any interesting items available in my contracts for this day, and I might be able to make some money on it as well. And even though my loan balance is kind of high right now, and I'm kind of working towards paying that down, once I get it paid down, I'm still gonna probably jump back and get my feet wet. But I just want to maybe take out some more loans, because I still need to get my farm to a certain level. I'm making a certain amount of money on a regular basis. And I need to expand my farm's operations in order to do that. And then once I'm up, got enough operations up and running, I won't have to take out any more, any more loans, and my farm will be kind of self-sufficient and making enough profit where I won't even have to go that route, and I can buy all the land and equipment that I may need. Okay, I have no idea why Mr. Worker here could. Alright, we're gonna no, you're not gonna oops, I don't know what Mr. Worker's trying to do right there, so we're just gonna have to come over here and do this last little section manually, because I have no earthly idea what he's trying to do there. We're not going to spread slurry over part of the field and part of an area where there is no field. And sometimes the game's AI is pretty good, and then other times it's really, really bad. Because I have no idea what Junior was trying to do there. He was gonna, I guess, spread slurry on the road. Because at the position he was at, he was about to put more slurry on the road than on the field. Alright, so we just about got this field wrapped up. Hopefully one more tank ought to get the whole thing done. I just gotta And really, buying one more tank may be overdoing it, but just want to make sure we don't have any major gaps on the field. And I may even keep this silo on my field for the moment, just to kind of save me from making some unnecessary trips to the shop. Alrighty. And this should be my final pass. And make sure I get my tractor lined up in the right spot. I totally cannot really see the area that I'm missing. But we'll do our best to try to get it lined up. And hopefully we'll get it all. Let's see. Okay, yep, got that section. That's good stuff right there. And we'll hop on over to the other section of the field. And turn the spreader on and get at it one more time. Alrighty. Alrighty, that looks good. Let's see if I can touch up these other two spots where the filter keeps showing that I'm missing areas. We'll just try to dust right along this edge and see if we can kind of clear those gaps up. But if not, we're still good. And now I'm kind of doing like the worker and fertilizing the road. But it's all good. Alrighty. Alright, so we got this field done. And if we can hop on over to the field now, we can see. Fertilize 100%. Right now the yield bonus is only sitting at 98%, but that may change once the field comes up for needing to be rolled, and maybe I can probably add another 5% to that when that state comes up again. But if not, that's still more than sufficient enough of a yield bonus. Alright, so we're done. with the slurry tanker, so I think we can go ahead and turn that bad boy back in. And let's take this tractor over back to my storage shed. We'll get her cleaned up first. Then we'll put her back in storage. Alright, so here we go. Go over here to my handy dandy sprayer. And let's just get her cleaned up real quick. Now I don't know if keeping your tractors clean really has any gameplay impact, but it's just one of those things where, you know, cosmetically it still matters from time to time. So we're just going to go ahead and get her cleaned up real quick. Alright, she's looking good. Oh, that's right, we still got the matter of the solid fertilizer. Almost forgot about that. And I can't dump from the spreader into the silo, so we just have to dump the pallets out and then come back and pick up the pallets in the trailer and then dump from the trailer back into the silo. Park you right here. We'll grab our nasty Ferguson and our trailer. Alrighty. And we'll pick up the fertilizer. And then dump it back into the silo. Okay. Guess this is the same trailer we'll use for feeding our chickens. We'll go ahead and do that now as well. We'll grab some wheat and roll back over here to our chicken feed location. Drop off some vittles for our birds. For our yard birds, as my nana used to call them. And for you don't know, that's my grandma. Another way of saying that. I don't know how some of you players around the world, or some may not know some of the American references to our grandparents, but one of the names that's also used for our grandparents are kind of like nicknames is Nana. Alright. So chickens are good to go. Just need to check on my cows, pigs, sheep are good to go. Don't need any feed there. Let's hop over to our cows and pigs. These are going to our John Deere 6250. Alright, let's drop off. Well, we'll drop off the bale spike and pick up our shovel. Seem to be missing the mark here. Alrighty. And that hit it, but not all of it. So let's go pick up some pig feed. Back over to the pigsty. And drop off some more pig food. All of that, so got one more load to grab apparently. Grab another 2,000 liters of pig food. Alrighty. And since it's giving me that message, that must mean they're full. So we're good to go. So I can drop off my shovel. And move over to my TMR mixer. And let's work on getting the cows squared away. TMR up to the cows. The cows should be good to go. So we'll park our TMR mixture and pick up our straw blower. We'll give both our cows and our pigs some straw. For the pigs, you just kind of got to get your blower line up in the right spot for it to be recognized. Alright, so we got the straw down for our cows and our pigs. We fed our pigs and we fed our cows. So our animals should be pretty happy right now. Alright, and so looks like our animals are happy. Alright, the cows are producing milk. Our pigs are multiplying. And the sheep are making wool. Alright. And both of the animal barns have plenty of room to grow. Alright, so we're done there. So let's hop over and take a look at contracts for today and see if we have anything interesting in our contracts that might be worth pursuing. And right off the bat, I can see we have a couple that may be worth taking a look at, especially the one on field 68. Normally I would borrow equipment, but I have the appropriate equipment for satisfying this contract on my farm. So I'm going to go ahead and accept that contract. And we're going to fire up the McCormick. I wish I had checked that before I put all that fertilizer back in the silo, because now we're just duplicating steps. That was on me. Alright. There we go. Alright. I need to buy some solid fertilizer. spreader filled up, and we're going to go over to field 68, I believe it was. Yep. I could just have put it on autopilot and had the worker make his way over to the field. But where's the fun in that? And even under normal circumstances, the worker AI in this game, again, as we saw earlier, still sometimes can really do some puzzling things. On this map, there's also some problem areas that the AI workers run into pretty consistently. And as we're passing through, I'll point out both of them real quick. The first one is here. I don't know why Giants placed this vehicle here in this kind of odd location, because it's both off the road but still partly on the road. And for some reasons, when AI workers come through this area, especially with larger equipment, they get blocked by this vehicle, which I could see in some cases, and it makes sense, because I'm not totally understanding why Giants made the design decision to put this vehicle here and not have it completely off the road like this vehicle. Just odd. But the second trouble spot that workers run into on this road is when they get to this particular bridge. And this bridge has an issue similar to the car in that part of the bridge is kind of in the road, so when AI vehicles, again, especially with some of the more larger equipment or some of the tow trailers that are larger, they'll kind of catch an edge from either the toe of the vehicle on this part of the truss of the bridge and get stuck there sometimes. Alright, so field 68. And make sure I'm on the right field. Where am I? Kind of lost myself there, but here we go. Yeah, we're on the right one. So that lined up. Fire off our worker, and away we go. And hopefully we got enough fertilizer in here that we don't run out before the job is done. I really don't want to have to wheel a tender over here if I don't have to. And again, as I was discussing earlier, one of the other announcements that came from Giants within the last week or so was they announced the release date for the Precision Farming free DLC. And that will be released again on April the 19th. And that will be available for both PC and console. And just kind of outlining some of the new features that they indicated would be in that DLC. There'll be some new pieces of equipment, including crop sensors, And some other features are environmental score, variable rate seeding and drilling, variable rate weed control, which is interesting. I'm kind of curious how that's going to work. Variable rate manure fertilizing, and another great addition, I think, that they'll have that will address a problem that was a problem with precision farming in FS19, was you'll be able to purchase soil maps. Because one of the issues with precision farming in 19 was you had to go around. The soil sampling device only had a limited radius, and you had to, for larger fields, you have to go around the field taking multiple samples, and it could get pretty tedious especially on larger fields. So having the ability to be able to purchase a soil map outright will definitely be a little bit of a game changer, in my humble opinion, as far as the precision farming works. Precision farming was actually one of my favorite DLCs in FS19 because it changed the way that you address how you fertilize your field. So I'm very much looking forward to that one. And again, that will be released on April the 19th. I'm especially curious how that variable rate weed control is supposed to work. But just kind of thinking out loud, I'm betting that that'll be like when we use our herbicide sprayers and whatnot. We won't have to canvass the entire field and use all our spray to kind of knock out weeds, or if we do, it won't charge us as much for spraying the entire field, and only charge us for the sections of the field that can actually contain weeds. And I hope I'm kind of phrasing that right, but basically we only be charged for when we run a sprayer across the field, we only be charged for the sections of the field that contain weed, and it won't hit us as hard as far as like using up all of our chemical sprays for getting rid of the weeds off of our fields. Alrighty, so the filters are not going to show us where we're at on this job, so and again, it's hard to see. I can't really tell how much we have done or how much we are not getting done here, and I can't even see it on the filters. Alright, looks like we're about 74% finished, so almost there. Now worker gets the tractor turned around and makes another pass. He should complete the contract on this pass. Alrighty, fire away. And while he's doing that, taking a peek at the contract, alright, you were about 83% on that one. And we also had another interesting contract on the field 33, and that's also fertilizing. And then we have a couple of sowing and spraying contracts. But I'm not going to worry about those too much because there's not enough profit in them. You can make money on either one of them, but just not a whole lot of money for the time and effort. Well, 2,717 on 59 might not be too bad, but what's sealed 59? Which one is that? That's this one over here. Okay, why did you just drive down in the ditch, Bubba? Alrighty, that contract is complete, so we can go ahead and cash that one out. Cool, 13 grand. Alright, and we'll take this back to our farm. And while on the drive over, I contemplate on whether or not I want to go ahead and take that additional contract or not. Because I do have my own herbicide sprayer. So I could take on that contract without having to borrow any additional equipment. So we may just go ahead and try to give that one a go as well. And again, just kind of thinking out loud. Okay, and once we get back to the farm, I'm gonna take another look at those contracts to see if they're really worth the time and effort. And that 5 grand fertilizing contract, yeah. That's on 33. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take it. Heck, we'll take on both of those. Alright, let's go. 33. 33 is over by the shop, isn't it? Yeah. Alright. So we'll go do that one real quick. Alright, and this is some of the fun stuff here as I'm trying to grind it. Slowly grind it out now as I make my money back so I can pay off my loan balance and then take out some more loans until we get our farm built up enough to where it's super self-sufficient and making its own money. We still got a little bit of a ways to go there. I'll just hop over here to field 33. And this spreader has a width of about 42 meters. So we should be able to knock this whole contract out rather quickly. Alrighty. In fact, I may not even mess around with the worker on this deal and just go ahead and knock it out. One of the main reasons why I do like using workers in certain scenarios is because they can drive in a perfectly straight line as compared to my driving, as you've seen me in my streams, and I'm sure you surmised by now I'm not one of the best farming simulator drivers, and I'm always dialing up the crash counter. Alright, here. And speaking of straight lines, there you go. Alrighty. So it looks like we may be able to knock this one out in 3 passes. And that's all good stuff. Okay. And again, me and my straight line driving missing spots. Alright, not gonna quite get it to that far edge, but very, very close. And all in all, nothing super exciting about grinding out contracts, but sometimes in the farming simulator world, it's kind of a necessary evil. Okay, that contract is finished. We want to go cash that one out. And that gets our balance up to a cool 23 grand. And we'll take this handy dandy sprayer back to the farm. Then grab our sprayer and load our sprayer up and take care of those other 2 contracts. Alright, now back on the main farm. And let's go repeat the previous operation. And again, we're doing this because the spreader can't dump its contents directly into the silo. So we're just going to have to drop these off. Okay, let's drop off the fertilizer spreader and go pick up our sprayer, and then load her up with some herbicide and get to work. And again, with driving, the struggle is real. Alrighty, and I didn't quite top the sprayer off, so we'll kind of scoot over here to our buy anything silo and see if we could kind of top it off to 100%. Alright, so now we're good to go, and we can go to handle these contracts. And let's see, on 55 and 59. Where is 55 at? Alrighty, so we're going to take the sprayer over to field 55. Alright, so we're heading off to field 55. And just working some contracts. We'll try to get our funds back up. And as you can see, it's perfectly normal. My driving is all over the place. It's just what I do. Alright, so coming up to field 55. Let's open up our sprayer. And again, because I struggle with drawing straight lines, I'm going to kind of hire an AI worker here. And let him kind of knock that out. And while he's doing that, let's just take a look at a few things to see if there are any other things we can do. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, since we're coming up on the end of the stream, this looks like a good place to end the stream. Once again, I want to thank you for watching this stream, and I'll catch you again on Saturday. Thanks for tuning in, and when we jump in on Saturday, we'll work on doing some crop work and see what other activities we can get into. Again, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. As always, game on. And if you're not having fun with what you're doing, then what are you doing? Catch you later.